You know what, let's see, we've got it going to F. Yeah, we need it to just be F,
I need to
whatever
like
that. Yeah, and not lock it down. So it's a total free form, just F, whatever row that is.
Here?
And salesperson code, where you've got this D, whatever that is,
Okay.
that needs to reference that cell right there. Okay. Now when we run it, it should be a different list. There we go. That's where we want to be. Okay. So now we need to get the customer. Did you computer crash again, or?
Yeah, I froze for a second.
Okay. So let's get our customer name first. Customer table. Give me the name, where the number is. Replicate. Look at here. Anybody get to the total commissions yet?
Yes.
Yep, it's not
Yes.
working.
Mine did.
Mine's working.
It's no, I mean it's the piece we're missing. It's the missing link.
All right. So what do we have as our total commissions? What does everybody have?
20,263.
Okay. Sum, customer ledger entry.
Oh, that's funny.
Amounts. Okay. And what are our filters?
Posting date,
Okay. Posting date. Where is that pointing?
D3,
D3 here. Okay.
salesperson code.
Salesperson code. Where's that pointing?
I had it at 9,
F9. Yep. I'll take that. F9. Okay. What else do we have?
but
Document
document type,
type.
D5.
D5. Lock that reference down. Anything else?
I had customer number.
Customer number. Perfect. Right. We want to make sure we only pull back the totals for that customer number. Okay. So, if you did it correctly, you got that error. Empty filter not allowed. What the heck does that mean? Well, as we look at this, we can see works great here, and then breaks. Works great and breaks.
Salesperson code.
Exactly. So here's where I'm going to use the unhide button to kind of show what's going on. The reason this works is we've absolutely locked this down. We're referencing this cell that's in that row, and we've got that one that's one up and over. Same thing here. But when we drop down, suddenly it says that salesperson code is blank. So how do we fix that? How would you fix it?
Well, you can't lock it down completely because you need to change with each salesperson code.
Right.
Soon.
Yeah, if I lock that down as an absolute reference, works great for Janice. Everybody else needs to pick up the pace.
So you could make something equals and then hide it later on in your little auto hide row, and I'm guessing that with the smart diff might be what it is.
First person who's ever figured that out that I've taught in a year.
Oh, way to go, Paul!
We call it the cell reference workaround. Right? What we need to recognize is that if we could get that salesperson code on this line, it would duplicate with that line. So exactly what Paul just said is, I'm going to go right next to my replicator. I'm going to say this is equal to that value. Okay? And then I'm going to create a little train. This is equal to the value right above it. And if I'm doing a rows equals 4, I'm just going to do that for all 4. Okay. So I've got this value, which will change this value, then this one, then this one, then this one. And now I have that salesperson code in that row. So that allows me to change my reference from my primary replicator to that cell reference workaround in that same row. So now instead of looking at F8, I'm looking at instead of looking at F9, I'm looking at E10 for that salesperson code.
Show me your and your customer number.
Uh-huh.
Document. For some reason,
Okay, so hit okay, let's go back into design. Let's look at our customer number function real quick. The feeling it has to do with salesperson code, document type. Salesperson code, rows, customer number, posting date, D3, good. Document type is there, salesperson code is there, that should work. Okay.
Customer number, prestige entry.
Yeah. Okay. And then let's look at our salesperson code real quick. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that one. Salesperson code, customer date, salesperson code. Yep, that's all right. So measures returning a bazillion records. Error, yeah. Good, okay. Let's see what we've got.
You know, it didn't actually start until I put this in there, so it might be this.
I don't think that really has anything to do with it. So let's go ahead and hit report. It shouldn't return that many customers. Why is your replicator not? That is strange. It shouldn't be doing what it's doing. Because technically your replicator should see the replicator above it. But it's moving, it's not supposed to. So scroll down.
Well,
We'll scroll down just a little bit because we should only have one customer. See, then it's working there, and it. Oh, go back up. There's where. Here's why it is.
it's going there.
Now let's go back up into design. Okay, so now let's look at our customer number or customer name real quick. Function first. Okay, now let's look at our total commissions. There it is. It's a rows instead of a sum. So it was finding every combination of the sum of those transactions for every customer, and it was creating this weird circular reference. There we go. So make sure we don't have any other rows in a row. I was gonna say, it should only return one. It shouldn't return 50 or 60.
Okay, I'm returning the same amount.
You're returning the, sorry?
I'm returning the same amount each time.
Okay, so let's take a look.
Now it's because you're.
Okay. Should that be 9?
It should be in the same row as our as that replicator. So is that replicator in row 9 or 8?
8.
Okay, so that should be E8. Posting date. Because we didn't filter on, there's no reference to a customer. That's saying give me all the amounts for that date for that salesperson. That's an invoice or a credit memo, but we didn't filter on that secondary list of customers. So that's why you're getting the same value. So once you add a filter for customer number and reference in mind it's the customer number in I-10, and we want to make sure this sum only grabs for that customer for this salesperson for that date and as an invoice or a credit memo.
Can you go over, I'm getting a free commission, total commission amount. Can you just,
This one here?
yeah, can you just see what I have?
Okay. So let's see what we've got. You're missing So let's go ahead and hit okay. Was it just wrong numbers or?
Yeah, wrong number, like it's gonna be a negative value.
Interesting.
Oh, not just customer.
No, we're getting the same customer over and over again. I think it's right here.
It's all
That should
there.
be the case.
Yeah,
We should only have that one time. So let's go back into design. I think we have, there we go.
yeah,
Oh,
There's your culprit. So go back into design.
okay,
Change this total commission.
yeah.
That should be a sum instead of a rows.
Ah, gosh, gotcha, thank you.
So it was, we were getting the same thing over here as it was trying to find every combination of those two things, and it ended up creating this weird circular reference.
Okay, so what customer number?
Just a minute. Oh, whoops, that's what I did. Wait,
Is doing that?
Okay. So let's hit OK. Let's go back into design. We should only have one customer number, so somewhere you've got probably another rows in there. So let's look at our customer name. first. Okay, look at our total commission. There you go. You've got a rows instead of sum.
But
That's why I try and avoid doing just the copy the thing over and just because I will always forget at least one thing. Whether it's to filter back on something, whether it's to change it from a rows to a sum, and that's what's happening is you just get those combinations
okay,
of.
so okay, now go back to design props.
Yeah. So we want to make sure when we do our total commission, that's going to be a sum of the transactions.
Oh, that's just so.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to get one value there. So that'll be a sum. And then you also need to filter on that customer, right? You get a sum of the transactions sold by that salesperson in that date. That's an invoice or a credit level by that salesperson. And so, and when you use your salesperson code, you want to reference your cell reference workaround.
Exactly the side one.
Yeah.
So that's gonna add customer.
And then the commission.
Yeah, but mine, this wasn't showing underneath. So then how do you fix it for total,
You just create another cell reference workaround to get to that 5%.
commission?
Yep,
Okay.
that permission percent. You create another cell reference workaround to grab that value, bring it on down.
I got a different commission from her work.
All right. Are you getting like 5 times the amount?
I am getting blanks and numbers.
Okay, so let's look at our commission here. I bet you because you're using, yep, salesperson code. Change that filter from salesperson code to code. The salesperson code is an advanced dimension in here in this database, and it's not fully populated. In that salesperson purchaser table, the actual code you're looking for is code.
Okay, so,
let's
I'm,
go.
I'm pointing at
That's great. Just change this to code.
so I was pointing at this.
Yep, that's perfect.
Okay,
This is what all we have to change. You have salesperson code. We want it to just be code.
code.
Yep.
But how do I know that I am supposed to grab that instead of this?
Hopefully, in your database, somebody won't have shoved that advanced dimension in that table. But another way to know it is say, well, it's not fully populating. I can go into nav,
And look for
oh,
go to the screen.
yeah,
Okay,
about
I
this
see.
page and say, why is this not coming back with anything? I swear it's being used. Then you can go into nav and look up and it say, hey, you need to use code. So that's one way you can, if you're getting no results, that's how you kind of figure it out. You kind of trace back and determine what it is you're using.
Thank you.
So yeah, we also need one for our commission percent. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert another column. I'm going to create that same train. Look over at that commission. Look at the cell above it. Look at the cell above it. And just bring it on down.
No, I had just put mine under the other.
You just copy it down here?
Well, I had put it under the invoice, in column D, basically.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable too.
You're only looking.
The only problem that I would have with that is if you want to show these values, then you can't hide that
Gotcha,
column.
right, and skipping as well. No, you have to go all the way to the top.
And we don't want to see our cell reference workaround, so let's hide those ugly things. So there's an actual time and a place of when we have to use this. It didn't break until we got to this total commissions. Right? But our customer number, that's pointing there, right? So why is my customer number working and everything else not working? The rule is if anything, let's see, I actually have a slide for this. If there is any value in the secondary list, where are you? Nope, I don't have a slide for it anymore. If anything in the secondary list, a detail in the secondary list, needs to make a reference to a value in the primary list, you have to use the cell reference workaround. A replicator can see the line above it, and it will move properly. So you kind of have to remember, when do I need to use it, when do I don't? Easiest way, always do a cell reference workaround, and you're just going to save yourself that headache. But the actual rule, if you decide to go for the certification, it's on 410. A cell reference workaround is needed in any grouping report where the data functions in the secondary list detail, all those little secondary details, reference a cell in either the primary list, the primary value, or the primary detail. Right, in our report, we needed to reference both the primary list and that primary detail in two different of our values here. So we had to implement two cell reference workarounds in order to grab that report properly. It will not hurt your report if you create a cell reference workaround and use it, and it's not needed. It's not going to slow down your report at all. So for me, I always just tell people, just get in the habit, future-proof your reports. Because who knows, somebody might want to add, you know, it might have just been, well, here's a salesperson, who's their customers. Well, now I want to get the total commissions and the total sales and all this stuff. And, you know, then you have to add that cell reference worker in after the fact. So I just always implement it. Other report analysts